Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
See, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-upness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-upness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Welcome to the Alphasphere. Get money division, the place where you transform into a man on a mission. Learning to not feel guilty about selfish decisions. You and your best self would be on a head-on collision. You will not be stopped by obstacles that's dropped by those who wanna see you fall, cause more wanna see you fall. You will be so focused, you won't get no peace at all, till you go from mud feet to walking on streets of gold. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Dr. BOA, the utmost alpha a surgeon, helping you to become your most alpha version. Old and new you, this is where they will be merging. Get money today, so later you'll be splurging. Tell them haters you do not care what they say about you. Just get to live out to make them live without you. When your vision sprouts to living it from chasing it. When they say your name, just make sure they put some bass on it. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Alphas don't trust hoes. They just think they should be trusted. Alphas take control. They just let they bitches leave. I'm just saying I'm the motherfucking man, cause my bitch ain't got no plans, and my wishes are command. And everything that she do is for the team. Seeing daddy win the ring is a motherfucking dream, and she knows everything I want, everything I need, it's a guarantee. Everything I do, everything I say, it's my way, you know way, you know way, it's okay, you know. Your bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. I don't trust these hoes. Bitches don't know honesty. I stay in control. Never relinquish the lead. I'm just saying you are not the fucking man if your bitch got her own plans and your wish ain't her command. And everything that she do ain't for the team. Seeing you in the ring ain't her motherfucking dream. She should know everything you want, everything you need, it's a guarantee. Everything you do, everything you say, it's your way, you know way, you know way, it's okay, you know. Your bitch want me to come through. She said she think of me when she with you. She really want a man to treat her right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight. Your bitch want me to come through. She suffering from the beta nigga blues. She really want a man to beat it right, and I can be the man la mama need for tonight.
What's good, homies? What's good? What's good? It's your man, Dr. BOA, back in the joint again. Keeping it copacetic, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. Got the entire Green Label gang in the building. Harlem World, what up? It's Jay. See Rob, 9 times. Salute. V Clark, I see you, man. Juggernaut, what up? Sai, what up? I see Rob, I see you, man, 9 times. Might have said both of y'all twice. Quay, what up, man? Chief, what up? Chris. Markel, I see you, homie. Medinator, what up, man? Bill Medlock, what up, B? Had to go ahead and put us in members only mode right quick, man, because a couple of guys in here was on something else, man. Dilly, what up? What up? B Underwood, I see you, homie. What's good? What's good? Sterling, what up, man? Jeremy James, what up, Jay? Bruce, what up, man? Good to see you in the joint again, man. Been a minute. Jacob, what's good, bro? Make sure we ain't missing nobody. Grind time in the building. What up, homie? Mike is so dope. What up, Mike? Y'all bear with me, man. I got this Ricola in my mouth, man. I got a little, a little something going on with my throat, man. Couple super chats in here. Moise, what up, man? Appreciate the 5 bones. Salute. Red Sings the Blues. Salute, my brother. Donation, my brother. Got to hear this from you, Doc. Been training, man, every day to interview you one day, man. Hey, man, we going to get it done, bro. I see you over there grinding, man. I see you at the ground. We're gonna surprise everybody when we do it. They ain't going to be expecting it. They're going to come at a time when nobody's expecting. Brown Hornet, what up, Hornet? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the dime. Salute to you. Markel, appreciate the 5, man. Dr. B.O., I just turned 20 years old today, and now life in my 20s begins. Got to take things seriously and still focus on myself. Got to, man. Got to. Blessed born day to you, homie. Blessed born day to you. Dead Miles, what up, man? All right, man. Before we even go any further, let's go ahead and go to school. I like to display my quite impressive sunglass collection. Jamie S. Salute, man. Appreciate the dime. My donation. Salute to your side. What's up? What up, homie? Appreciate the dub. They may not acknowledge the source, but I know for a fact the people listening to you. Keep waking them up with that truth and spirituality, my brother. Salute to you, man. I appreciate that. Well stated, bro. Now, let me go ahead and cover the first elephant in the room. If you expecting me to play the videos again, so you can hear it all again and get your little laugh on, you might as well leave, because this ain't that type of party. Over here, we teach and we learn from one another. If you waiting for me to take a side or have any straw in the battle itself, I don't really care about the battle, the sides. I don't care about none of that. If you're expecting that, you might as well go ahead and leave. And if you're expecting me to attack either one of these brothers for anything they've done, as I said before, we don't attack, we teach, and we learn back and forth between one another in this particular space, man. So if you come into the alpha sphere expecting a clown show or a circus, you might as well go ahead and leave. You understand? Because when it comes to this profession we're in, content creation, I have the utmost respect for all these brothers involved, because they are definitely some of the better content creators, some of the better content creators on this platform. That being said, we are going to break this thing down and pull as many lessons out of it as we can. Some of these things men should already know, and some of you do already know them. But because of the way this played out, and because of the way I see people taking sides on it, regardless of what's been done or what lines have been crossed, we're going to take as many lessons from this as we can. Cool guy Lawrence. Salute, man. Appreciate the 5. Peace and love, all 4 of them looking like girls. That's fair. Now, let's get into this, man. Let's get the people one more minute. One more minute would be 15 minutes in. One more minute. If you get in the next minute, you're going to be able to hear what's up, man, because we're going to really take a breakdown of this thing, man, and we're going to break it. We're going to break it all the way down. So, again, I appreciate everybody being in here, man. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the support for the BOA movement and the King Ray Ray movement. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys anxiously anticipating Pimp Motivation 101. And I saw somebody in the chat earlier say, why do all red pill content creators make music? Well, hell, why do all athletes make music? Why do all entertainers have podcasts? Why does everybody have an IG channel? You know why? Because we can. Because we can. Why don't you take some time, make you some music, make you some content, do something with yourself, as opposed to wondering why other men do things? That right there is the type of energy that we're trying to end in this society. Anything to get a joke, anything to get a view, anything to get a follow. All right, now let's get into it. The first elephant in the room is this. What you men have to understand is there are street rules, there are business rules, there are judicial system rules, there are jailhouse rules, there are all kinds of rules in every facet of life. You're going to be in relationship rules, pimp game rules, hustling rules, but manhood rules transcend all boundaries. Manhood rules will always rise to the top no matter what environment you're in. And in this scenario, certain manhood rules have been disregarded or downright offended. But manhood rules transcend all boundaries when it comes to men dealing with other men. Manhood rules come first. Because before you could be anything, you got to be a man first, or you should be a man first. Otherwise, your actions can't be counted on, your actions can't be predicted if you don't follow manhood rules. The second elephant in the room is this. This one is about what Fresh and Fit did. You never attack a man personally, publicly. You never personally attack a man publicly. It is a very feminine thing to do. It should never be done by a man. Any man who's done it should be ashamed of himself, and he should ask for the forgiveness of the man who he offended. It is not masculine at all to personally attack men publicly. Especially if this is not your partner, like me and my partner may come on here, like you may hear me and my cousin, man. We planning something for y'all, man, in the near future, man. My cousin Rock, at the Steel Mill Wellness in ATL. We planning something for y'all in the future, man. Near future, just depending on how these how this COVID thing causes everything to shut down or not be able to maneuver the way we want to. We got some plan for y'all. But if you hear me and him on, yeah, every now and then we might give each other a little ribbon, but it ain't gonna never be a personal thing, or it's gonna be something that we both rib one another about. But that's my cousin, that's my homie, that's my partner. We've been like brothers, and we would need how to counter flies. So you never personally attack men publicly. As a matter of fact, you never personally attack men at all. A personal attack on a man is an emotional attempt to make a man emotional. A personal attack is an emotional attempt to make a man respond to you emotionally. And what that indicates is that a man is unwilling to face another man in a masculine realm. Anytime you run to emotion, then you're not prepared to face a man in a masculine realm. You understand? Physical contact, face-to-face confrontation, logical discussion. And we have to make sure we never do that, because that always ends badly for the man who attacks the man personally. Always ends badly. Now, although this was wrong, you never do what Abba and Preach are doing now. See, there was a whole lot of talk about, hey, let's fight. I'll box you. Let's get it up. Let's do it. Let's do our thing. Okay, let's do it. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. See, here's the thing. You never kick a man while he's down. And down don't mean he financially doing bad. It means while he's down. Anytime a man has to tuck his tail, he is down. Being in a state of tail tucking is down for a man. You are out of the realm of masculinity anytime you got to tuck your tail. Because that means you probably weren't dealing with someone in a logical perspective. It means that you tried to deal with someone in a fake masculine perspective, and then true masculinity made you bow down. So once this man backed out of that and said, no, I don't want any of that, they should have left it alone. Because now what you're doing is picking on a weaker man now. Once a man shows you he's a weaker man, now you're just being a bully. I understand. Yes, it was the words were offensive, but at a certain point, once a man lets you know, I don't want any problem with you, now you got to get out of your feelings. Because if you continue to go on attacking this man, now you're just being emotional, which is the kind of which is the response that you got, that he got from you, because he attacked you in an emotional way. You have to understand that you have to view everything from a masculine perspective first. It is our job as men to present masculinity to this society.
It is our job as men to present masculinity to our sons. It is our job as older men in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, if you live that long. I plan to, but that's another story. To represent masculinity to these younger men who are in a world that's surrounded by femininity. This looks bad. This looks really bad. As Adolf Caesar said, appreciate the support, masculinity brings the femininity out of both male and females. True masculinity affects the entire room. And what we're using this situation to do today is we're going to figure out how to not find ourselves in this situation. There are many of you men, whether you admit it or not, who would have done exactly what Fresh and Fit did. Go on this rah-rah attack and this emotional rah-rah blah blah thing and do all of that. And then there are many men of you who would have responded the way that Preach did. It was mostly Preach's response. But after that, once the man backed down, you would have left it alone. See, now it's turned into a cat fight. It went from disrespect, responding to disrespect, bowing down to the response, to now just a cat fight. It's cat fight. You're picking on you're a bully picking on someone, and it never ends well for the bully. It never ends well for the bully. So the three elephants: manhood rules transcend all boundaries. Never personally attack a man publicly. Never personally attack a man, period. Never kick a man while he's down. Once that man bows down, you don't kick him anymore. He didn't want the first kick. If the man didn't want to kick, why you still kicking him? Let it go. Leave it alone. You're making a mockery of yourselves and this space. You're making a mockery of everything that's been built, of all the fans that you have, of all the people who support both of you. You're making a mockery of their support. You're making a mockery of the reason they supported you. You're making a mockery of your access to this platform to be able to lead people, because neither of you is leading anyone now, except lead men to responding with femininity. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You really ought to be ashamed of yourself. It is time to let this go and put this to bed, man. Because now it starts to turn into female talking points. Now, I will say this. When you call a man out and you disrespect a man, your ass better be ready for the result. You don't hear me telling nobody, let's meet up. You don't hear me telling nobody, hey, man, I'll knock you out. For one thing, I don't know anybody on here well enough to have that type of beef with them. I don't know. There's nobody on here I can have that type of problem with. I don't know anybody well enough. And the people that I do know well enough, we cool. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have anybody, any enemy who knows me well enough to pull me out into that, okay, let's get it up. I'll be there. It takes a lot to plan a flight and take a flight, man, to go see somebody. So when you put that out there, you better be ready. And if you ain't ready, then zip your lip. Think like a man. Understand the consequences and repercussions of what's happening. We preach that all the time in the atmosphere. As a man, you have to be ready to accept the consequences and repercussions of your actions, man. Because they're coming. If there's an action, there's a consequence and a repercussion, man. If not more than one. So when you put it out there, and let's be perfectly honest. You cannot talk about an entire culture of people when you have set up shop in their stronghold in this country. There are more Haitians and Cubans in Miami than there are Americans. So you have to make sure that you keep these things mentally and logically in perspective, as opposed to just letting anything fly out of your mouth, because now you put yourself in a situation where you've insulted an entire culture of people, an entire nationality of people who are surrounding you there. This is why you stay out of your feelings, because when you're in your feelings, you can't think. You can't think when you're in your feelings. And now, when it gets to the point where a man is going to buy a weapon, if this is indeed why the man is buying a weapon, then I think Abba and Preach need to lay down. They need to relax, to calm down rather. They need to calm down. Because what I've learned in my time in the world is a scary person won't shoot you quicker than a gangster will, but he'll shoot you over netting. He'll shoot you wrongly He'll shoot you by mistake. He'll shoot you, but he'll shoot you before he do anything else. There ain't no intimidation from a person that's afraid of you. It's straight defending myself. So now that it's dead, man, it's dead. You guys leave it alone. The problem is there aren't enough men who were exposed to an environment where words to get you killed. To the majority of men, that's just TV. You've never seen anybody get knocked off, man, because of their words. You've never seen anybody get laid down in front of you in broad daylight. You've never seen a man shoot his son. You've never seen a son shoot his dad. You've never seen any of these things. You have never seen two brothers in the middle of the street trying to smoke each other. That's why it's so easy for you to throw these insults around, man. Real men do not insult one another unless you expect the death wish that comes with that. It's real out here, man. See, and on the flip side of that, now I'm not saying guys have to be cool. It ain't about being cool. It ain't about being cool at all. It's about being true. Being true to who you are. As I was reading the comments, I left the comments up for a while. I left the chat open for a minute because I just wanted to see what guys were going to say. Because I knew what the Alphasphere were going to say. I knew the Alphasphere, we were just going to come in here and chop it up. You know, it wasn't going to be a whole bunch of rah-rah. But I knew that there were going to be some other guys coming in. And some of the things I saw are very disturbing, man. Some of the things I saw are very disturbing. There are too many men who don't think from a logical perspective. Dio Bomero, appreciate the $20 super chat. I agree the Fresh and Fit shouldn't have mentioned Preach wife. However, how do you feel about Alvin Preach coming out of nowhere 4 months later, mocking Fresh about not paying for box and one girl soul? That's what they do on their channel, man. Like, see, that's for you to feel any kind of way about that, for any of us to feel any kind of way about that, it shows that we're being disingenuous. That's what they do on their channel. I'm subscribed to them. That's what they do on their channel. Almost every video they put up is calling out somebody. It don't matter who it is. They always call out people. Sometimes they call out people they support. That's what their channel is based on. That's what they do. So now it's a problem. It's only a problem if you're like a fanboy. You only have a problem with someone doing what they always do to a certain person if you're a fanboy of that person. Listen, there's no loyalty in content. I could do an interview with somebody right now, man, and they could go back and tear it down and deconstruct it if they want to. If they want to do that, they can. It's not like they make a different kind of content, like they make, animal fight content and then turn around and did that. That's what they always do. And anytime some content comes out, you have a problem with it, man, people make content about me every day. Every day somebody sent, well, at least every other day. 3 or 4 times a week, somebody send me some content, man, that somebody made. BOA is this. Dr. BOA don't know this. Book of Alpharonomy says this. Don't listen to Book of Alpharonomy. Book of Alpharonomy is hurt man. Listen to him. He got to show me what he's worth. He got to show me he's an alpha. I don't know. I get this every day. But then you look at those guys' channel. They do that all day to everybody. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is that's content. When you start getting into the other stuff, just make a response video. That's what people do. You make a video, I make a video. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you have a problem with something that's said, here's the thing about it. See, y'all looking at it from a fan perspective, a listener perspective. This is a business. A bunch of people make a lot of money doing this. And there are a bunch of people who are doing it with hopes and aspirations of making a lot of money doing it. There's a lot of people who make a lot of money doing this. And this is a business for people. I'm talking about way before you get to the level of an Alvin Preach or even Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels. There's a lot of money being made on this platform, man, doing what we do. So when you talk about business, there's no personal relationship in business. I heard Apple say that's the first time they had connected with those guys when it came down to doing that podcast. What are we talking about here? You got to keep your feelings out of business. You got to keep that personal stuff out of business. Business is business. Personal never comes before business. Business happens, and then business is so good and so long lasting that people develop a personal relationship outside of business. That's what men do. Men don't create personal relationships first. Men don't meet and say, hey, we're friends now. If we ain't made no money together, how are we friends? What have you done to benefit my life that makes you my friend? So the thing is, when it all boils down, you have the right as a content creator to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You do. You have the right. Listen, I've seen guys create content about me, and I've seen some of the alphasphere in those guys' comments. Because whenever somebody sends me a piece of content, I watch it. I just ain't gonna respond to it. I ain't gonna respond to it. Because whatever it is, only response I can give to it is negativity. Because most of the time the content is trash. You know what I'm saying? If it's good content, I'll comment on it. But most of the time the content is trash anyway. So the problem is, who cares? Who cares about it? Because let's not act like, I mean, there's been other people who've talked about it. There's been, you know, when the girl slapped the guy on the show, somebody sent me that, wanted me to talk about that. I just don't talk about those things. I don't talk about the creators in this space, in this sector, or even around this sector. Anything that might be closely related to this sector, I don't talk about that content. Anybody. I've received content about everybody, about Kevin, about Fresh and Fit, about Ab and Preach, about let me see, you name it, Jab, Angry Man. I received content. People want me to give my opinion on content or talk about content. I don't give my opinion on content. If there ain't a lesson in it, I ain't talking about it. And you asking me to give my opinion about somebody else's opinion or somebody else's particular content that has nothing to do with anything I ever talk about, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to dive into that. The bottom line is there's too much emotion being displayed. And emotion is acceptable if you display an emotion toward a woman. Many men get caught up in that emotional trap with a woman. You understand? That's understandable. Because that woman can put something in your life, man, to make you feel a certain way, man, to elevate your mind about yourself. Then you develop feelings for the woman. But where's all this emotion coming from between men? Because truth be told, even if you say something about my broad, I'm like, okay, cool. Who cares? Who cares? Because there is a chance that Preach can go down there, man, and get laid out. His wife could be wearing a black dress to a funeral. So you're going to get into it with somebody and possibly get laid out? You're going to go travel to somebody's city and get the dumbest thing a man can do is travel to somebody's city. You're going to travel to somebody's city, let them know you coming. Man, you get touched before you ever make it the way you going. If you roll up on the right person, you get touched at the airport, coming out of the airport. You won't even make it to the interstate. So that is, all of this is just a bunch of emotion, and men should never display this toward one another. Now, here's another lesson. The biggest lesson to learn out of this is if you have a problem with some man, and you could call somebody, or you can text somebody, or you can email somebody, man, get your ass on the phone and call that man up. That's what men do. That's what men do. I don't care what background you're from, what walk of life you're from. If that's not how you respond, you're not a man. You can be a gangster, you can be a thug, you can be a hustler, you can be a pimp, you can be a Mac, you can be a player, you can be a baller, you can be a shot caller, you can be all of that. But if that's not the way you handle it, you're not a man. All those things, women can be all of that too. Player, hustler, Mac, pimp, shot caller, big baller. A woman can be all of that too. So you still ain't a man. Men hash out issues behind closed doors with men that they have access to. Because here's the problem. If I say something about you and you can call me about it on the phone, then I should have called your ass on the phone first. I should have called you on the phone first. Because obviously we have an open line of communication. And that's how men handle things. See, this ain't about no back and forth. This ain't about no content. This is about men dealing with men like men. And this looks bad, man. It looks real bad. It shows that American black men have more respect for every other man from any other nationality or any other culture, as long as he doesn't look like you. As long as he doesn't look like you. And it's weird. It's a weird thing. Because this never happens. It never happens this way. If it isn't black on black. Like, it's crazy how this whole I hate myself so much thing that I'm just waiting to jump down another black man's throat. It's crazy to me, man. You're just waiting to jump down another black man. You can't wait. But as soon as it happens, you're like, oh my God, I get a chance to jump down another black man's throat. And then it goes into this simp back. Well, I'm gonna say as many bad things about you as I can. I'm gonna say as many bad things about you as I can. Man, I don't even listen to it no more, man. I listen to like the first couple exchanges, man. But once it got into talking about hair and hairlines and all that, man, I ain't lying. I started feeling feminine energy from the whole thing at that point, man. And I know y'all do too. I know a bunch of y'all feel feminine energy from that thing, man. I know you do. You got to feel feminine energy from that thing. And it's tough, man. It's to the point now where it's tough to watch, man, because, you know, it reflects on me. If somebody come on this platform and see that, and then they see me, they group us all in the same sector anyway. We all red pill. Even though I say over and over again, I am not red pill. I ain't never took no red pill because I ain't never been blue pill. I ain't never had to take no pill. I ain't never had to jump out the matrix because I always been aware of I've been aware of how women are before I ever dealt with them. When I was a kid and wasn't dealing with them yet, I was being taught how they were. So I've never jumped out here and had to be heartbroken by some bro because I already knew before I started dealing with them. But they still group me in red pill. They still group me in red pill, still group me in manosphere, still group me in the space. All of us are in the space. You can't detach yourself from the space no matter what you do. Overall, you're going to be grouped into this space. And it's always some shit between the men in this space. Always. Always. No man in this space ever goes out of this space with any issues. No matter what happens in the world, no man in this space ever goes outside of this space. I'm talking about there are men in this space that pick one man and just attack him all the time. And then try to act like you're a masculine man. Try to act like you're a masculine man when you're attacking another man all the time. Another man shouldn't even be on your mind that much. Why is that man on your mind all the time? Help me understand that. If I don't like you, if I don't like your content that much, I ain't even listening. Why are you listening to a man you hate? Because you don't hate him, you love him. And you're mad at yourself because you love him so much. That's all I can think of. There are too many questionable activities going on in the space, and that's why I always detach myself from it. I have from the beginning. See, this didn't just start. It's always been this way. It's always been this way. When the guys came on and did the whole, you know, Sigma is better than Alpha, and Alpha ain't this. Boy spent a whole 2 hours, man, talking about how bad Alpha. Didn't say nothing about Sigma, just kept talking about how bad Alpha is. Oh, Alpha ain't this, and Alpha ain't that, and Alpha ain't this. Man, you ain't never hear me getting my feelings about it at all. You understand? Even though a cat who I consider cool with me he was hosting it. I ain't never getting my feelings about it because you know what? It just don't matter. I understand if you don't rock with me, then I can't rock with you. I'm cool. That's how you go through life. You have partners. You understand? You have partners you hustle with. When you become the plug, you may fall out with some of those partners because they think they should be the plug too. But they weren't hustling. They weren't stacking. They didn't aspire to be the plug. They aspire to get money and go shop and go ball till they fall. So now they still on the same level, balling until they fall, and now they plug. And they might rather go shop with somebody else and shop with you because they remember when you was on the same level as them. They'll rather shop with somebody who's always been above them rather than shop with their partner who made good. This is just how men are in this particular society. There's always going to be some backbiting and backstabbing going on in this society, man, when it comes to men. Black men anyway. Red Sing the Blue, appreciate the $5 super chat. We always got to remind ourselves on the game, business is business. You must value professionalism as a man. I never respond to stuff about me. You can't, bro. You can't even respond to it. You can't respond to it. It don't make sense. Raymond Ogun, welcome to the family, bro. Welcome to the Green Label Gang. Chief, stand still, my brother. Appreciate the dime. What up, Dr. BOA? Great content, fam. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. See, here's the thing, man. I would never threaten a man with bodily harm on an online forum because real lifers don't self-snitch. And just in case that dude come up missing. Now, what happens if you threaten a dude and he come up missing? Guess what they're gonna do? They come into your online account. Somebody gonna tell them something. Too many snitches out here. Somebody gonna tell them something, and now you suspect number one because you just threatened to do something to that man, and 2 days later that man got knocked off. You just threatened that man. You gonna come see him. Now, what if somebody else want to see him? He talked about a whole culture. He talked about Haitians. Now, what if some other Haitian want to see him? Because they know you'd have stood on here and said you're gonna come down and see him, and what you gonna do? And then your homie still talking about he want to do something. He want to do something. Y'all boys ain't no better than the guys that's online in the music videos with real guns and the police roll up on them. ATF roll up on them. Lock all of them up. It don't make sense, man. You can't bring street rules into social media because the rules are different. The rules are different. And here's the thing. I frankly don't give a damn what either side does. I really don't care. But both of these sides, Fresh and Fit and Abba and Preach, have a bunch of young men, impressionable young men, who are following them. And you're causing these young men to take a side, and neither one of these sides is the side of masculinity. Neither one of them is. And that's a problem. That's a real problem. See, I want you men to understand something. Another thing that I'll never do, and this goes along the same vein, because now we're going to take a dial, we're going to segue, we're going to blow this thing up, and we're going to build on this foundation of masculinity, manhood, and integrity that has reared its ugly head from this exchange between these two sides. I'll also never compliment another man on his physical attractiveness or gauge another man by the female grading curve. I know you've heard these guys talking about how attractive other men are. How you gonna call another man a dime? What does that even mean? We say women ain't even no dimes, but I hear guys all the time calling other men dimes. That's feminine. We shouldn't be grading men's attractiveness. We shouldn't even be thinking of men along the lines of how attractive they are. You think when a lion go to battle with another lion and say, wow, man, boy, that man has a beautiful mane on him. Look at how black it is around the edges. I wonder if I can dye mine and make it like that. Wow. Look how full it is. Look like he blow dried it this morning. I shouldn't fight him. I should ask him what chemicals he uses in his mane. Nah, bro. That ain't how we get down as men. There are certain things that shouldn't be done by men. And the louder you get and the more masculine you try to sound about doing something feminine, the more like a fool you sound. The more of a fool you become. See, let me tell you something, man. I will never put another man's private life on blast. I won't, man. That's why all this doxing and stuff that go on. If you're a man and you dox another man, you're a chump. You ain't even a chump, man. Man, you're like a female in a man's body, man. Any man who doxes another man is just feminine. That's not something a man does. You don't put another man's private life on blast because we all have our own skeletons. Even if you don't have them now, you got them from the past. We've all done things. I did a live stream just last week, man. I appreciate the support on that one about how many times I've committed adultery with another man's wife. There are many of us who could open up and say something like that about our past. Some of you men were jackals in your past. So any man, I'll never share a man's private life, especially if he told me that in confidence. I won't even tell you a woman. Man, let me tell you something, bro. I done came into contact with some of these YouTube chicks. And you know why? They don't, well, every now and then maybe. But you know why they don't call my name out? Because I don't put their business out. I don't get no animosity from a man because I don't put their business out. Even though I could. You understand? I don't even have receipts. I have personal information that people share with me. I don't call those receipts because I'm not going to show them. They're not receipts because I'm not going to show you what I bought. Real men don't function like that. Keep other men's business out of your damn mouth. Talking about other men's business, man. That's lame. Trying to tear another man down, man. Based on what? Too much feminine energy, man. Got a couple super chats here, man. Let me catch them. GM, appreciate the $5 super chat. How do I become a member? Somebody gonna put it in the chat for you, man. If you go to the main channel page and click join, right by subscribe, it'll take you to the member portal. Jesus Gonzalez, appreciate the $10 super chat, man. Real men know the consequences of talking trash about another man. Salute BOA. Exactly. Joe Matthews, appreciate the 5 bone. Florida has stand your ground council law, and many more. It's foolish to walk into that. Man, look at him. I'm down south, man. We got open carry around here. I can just walk around with my pistol on my hip and a holster like a cowboy. You know what that means. Black mind, money, and muscle, man. Salute to you, bro. Great name. So much real talk feeds me like the Bible feeds my spirit. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat. Donovan Wood, what's up, homie? Appreciate the 5 bones. Salute, Doc. All of all black men follow these basic rules. There would be less death than manhood all around. There would, man. There will be less death than manhood. Yeah, exactly, bro. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. K Cooper, appreciate the 5 bone. This is one of the best channels on YouTube. Real masculinity over here. Salute, bro. I appreciate that. YMC, my brother. Salute. Appreciate the 5 bones. Respect, Doc T. Salute. Y'all go subscribe to YMC channel, man. That bro, that dropping that daily on y'all, man. That's tough. The daily is tough, man. Mr. Woody, appreciate the 5 bone, man. Salute to you. Emmanuel Olapona, man, appreciate the $5 super chat. Salute, Doc. If this was 2018 BOA, this would breakdown would be too raw for YouTube. I could tell you really growing from watching your old vids. Salute, man. Salute. Yeah, man. It will be going ham. But you know what? It reaches more people when you don't go ham, and then there's really nothing to go ham about. You know, I look at myself as a professor, and this is my classroom. So when I'm up here, you know, we're gonna talk like men who are in control of our faculties and our emotions and everything else. But salute to you, bro. Yeah, that old content was killer. Fear to none. Appreciate $10 super sticker, man. Grind time. Appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you sharing the wisdom. Salute, bro. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the super chats, homies. Now, another thing is this, man. And here's another thing about it. I want y'all to see, and here's why I waited so long to speak on it. Because I knew I wasn't going to come in and make a piece of content about it and try to get no views off of it. I knew I wasn't going to throw it out there and like everybody else was doing, making views by making content about it, making views. There were guys, man, who never don't even talk about stuff like this, who do content like that. Now you see a guy like O'Shea. O'Shea's channel is based on reacting to things. That's what he does. Like every single video, he's reacting to something. There are other couple of guys, man, who react every time they release content. But there are guys who don't even do that stuff, man. And they just wait on the opportunity to capitalize off what somebody else has going on because of their channel name. I don't ride niggas' coattails, man. Never have, never will. Never. There ain't a man on this platform that can say I ever asked him for anything. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a couple of guys I talked to and we exchange information about things and we're a wealth of information for one another. That's different. But as far as me asking somebody who was on the level I was trying to get to throw me a bone or give me a handout or do any of that or do an interview or interview me or do any of that, man, I've never done it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't ride coattails. I'd rather make it to level 5 in 10 years than to make it to level 10 in 5 years if I got to ride coattails to get to level 10. And so some of these things may not even be riding coattail, but if I feel like it's riding coattail, if I believe it's riding coattail, I ain't going to do it. And at a certain point, making this back and forth content over and over again, it becomes a coattail ride off the back and forth. At some point, you're starting to just keep going on the topic because it's getting views. And I always said, man, I never want to get into the point where I was willing to do anything for views. And a lot of times, man, you see that going on where, sometimes, man, guys just willing to do anything to get views, man. And I'm not saying these two guys are, or this set of guys here is doing that. But what I'm saying is we know that happens. We know that men will do anything to get views. We've seen it happen, so we know it happens. So there's no need to deny that it happens. And I just want to make sure. That's why I told you, if you want to see me replay the stuff, I'm not going to replay it. It's been played enough. It's not something positive to keep replaying. It's actually other black men feeding into the buffoonery. Because a lot of buffoonery going on in this thing, man. And as men, we have to understand masculinity and manhood is about doing the right thing, even when the wrong thing is easier. The number one rule of manhood and masculinity is doing the right thing, even when the wrong thing is easier to do. The wrong thing is always easy to do because there's an immediate reward for it. Immediate reward. You can roll up on somebody and draw down on them, man, get everything in their pocket. But then when that's gone, you broke. You got to keep doing that. Then you end up dead or locked up. Or half dead and locked up. The hard thing to do is to stay on your own grind. The hard thing to do is to not ride coattails. The hard thing to do is to stay out of foolishness. The hard thing to do is to not respond when somebody says something foul about you, even and it could be a lie and everything. You understand what I'm saying? It's tough, man. The hardest thing to be in this world is to be a 100% masculine man. You know what? You know why? Because it's so easy to not be that. You fit in so well when you forego the principles of manhood and masculinity. See, the thing is, when you are caught up in all of this stuff all the time, that means you can't control your life. You got to learn how to control your life. Anytime something else controls your life, you are at the mercy of that thing. So whether it's fame, whether it's fortune, whether it's women, whether it's whatever it is, whatever that thing is that controls your life, you are at the mercy of that thing. That's why so many men become successful and they still be suckers for women. Why? Because women are the thing that control their life. Getting women makes them feel better than anything. Having a woman around, even if the woman don't treat them good, they rather just have the woman around. Being able to show up somewhere with a beautiful woman that don't even respect them is better to that man than having a woman who might not be as beautiful, who will love his dirty draws. Because having women, getting women controls your life. Many men can't even keep a woman. And keeping a woman, if you get a woman, man, keeping her is the easiest thing to do. You know, man, I be having to run women off. Literally. Can't run them off. I tried to run women out before, they wouldn't leave. And I ain't saying this as a joke. I have tried to run women out throughout my life, man, they wouldn't leave. They didn't want to go. I literally had to figure out how to make them want to leave. See, here's what we got to keep in mind, man. There's an overwhelming pressure for men to fit into a certain mold in this society. There's a certain mold. That's why when men, I don't never talk to you guys, man, about how to dress. Man, dress the way that makes you feel the most confident. You understand? Dress the way that makes you feel the most confident. Because confidence belies your damn clothes. You can have one of the most expensive clothing in the world, but if you lack confidence, your posture gonna lack confidence. Your voice gonna lack confidence. Your inflections gonna lack confidence. The tone of your voice gonna lack confidence. The stare, your glare, all of it's gonna lack confidence. So you wear what makes you the most confident. If you lean as hell, then a white beater might make you feel most confident. You might wear a white beater everywhere. You might want to wear a suit. You may feel most confident in a suit. Hell, you may feel most confident in army fatigues. You may feel more comfortable in a Gucci sweatsuit. Who knows? You wear what makes you feel most confident and stop trying to fit into a mold, because fitting into a mold makes you a slave to whoever governs that mold. Because you will never govern an international mold. A widely accepted mold is established by somebody your ass don't even know. But you're just going to be following the trend. You know the number one trend in the world? Being your damn self. That's the trend you control. That's your trend. If you be yourself, then other people buy into your trend. That's the difference in being trendsetter. Being a trendsetter don't mean the whole world got to follow you. Being a trendsetter just means you set your own trend. You don't have to set an international trend. You don't have to set a worldwide trend. Just set your trend. Be your own personal trendsetter. And you find yourself out of this, so you feel like you got to defend yourself in a certain way. You got to have a certain look. You got to do a certain thing. You got to buy a certain car. You got to do all of these crazy things, man, that don't make no sense and don't lead to no self-confidence in a man. A lot of what's going on around us, man, because men lack confidence. There are many men who get a little money and it changes them. But it doesn't change them. It gives them the freedom to be who they are. You take a rapper like Young Thug. You see some old pictures of Young Thug, man. He looked just like the average little thug in the hood. Now he's got money. He don't ever have to go through that no more. He feel like he got no money where he could always be on his own and make his own moves. Now he dress how he want to dress. He's always wearing pink and dresses and fuchsias and skirts and blouses. He's wearing all of this stuff all the time. Why? Because that's who he is. But now he's in a position where he's setting his own trend for his life. Whether you like it or not, he's in a position to set his own trend. But here's the thing. You don't have to be in a position to set a trend in your life. You start setting your trend so you can position your life around your trend. You position your life. The greatest thing a man can do for himself is position his life around who he is and who he wants to be. That's your goal as a man. If you want joy and you want happiness, then you build your life around the trend that you set for yourself. Just Moolah, no 304s. Appreciate the Euro, man. Respect from London, Dr. Salute. Donovan Woods, salute, man. Appreciate the dub. Damn it, Doctor. This knowledge is priceless. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. Ian Simmons, man, what's good? Ian. We're going to call you Ian. Ian Simmons. We're going to roll with Ian. Ian Simmons. Appreciate the dub. You fit in so well when you forego the principles of manhood and masculinity. Word. Real talk, man. You are accepted by everyone. You are accepted by everyone if you just get in where you fit in. If you just fit in somewhere, you're accepted by everyone. Everyone loves a man who fits in, but it ain't real love. See, so you got to. I'm gonna tell you what the main problem is, man, with men in this society. And I know some of y'all gonna leave out when I say this, but cool, because we about to get into alphasphere talk now. When you shun a relationship with God, when you shun a relationship with the Most High, then you are at the mercy of mankind. You are at the mercy of what women like. You are at the mercy of what men expect. You are at the mercy of what this society dictates because you are afraid to not fit into this society. You are afraid to not be a part of the bigger picture, so to speak. You're afraid to not be a part of the gang, not be a part of the group. You willingly accept that you are a sheep that's meant to follow any shepherd that leads. And that's just not the way for us to be. That's what separates real men from imposters. That's what separates real men that women are drawn to versus imposters that women imitate, that women rule over, that women make bow down and step and fetch and kowtow to them. Because those same men don't do what? Control their lives. See, you have to be willing to not always stand on the popular standard. You have to be willing to go left when everybody else goes right. Because there's some down that left path as well. And if everybody's going right, that means everything down the left path is going to be yours, no matter what it is. And it ain't going to be all bad. It ain't never all bad. So if we're going down this street and everybody and 15 people and 14 of those people go left, go right. And I say, you know what? I'm going to go left. Those 14 people, whatever they find on that right path down there, they have got to split it 14 ways. Whatever I find down this path right here is all me. All me. So here's the thing. If they find $100 down there, they got to split it 14 ways. If I find 75 down here, I found less money, but I got 75. It's all about walking your own path, man. And in walking that path, you have to do it with integrity. You have to maintain integrity. Not sometime integrity. Integrity is what keeps you from crossing the line and talking about a man's heritage and talking about his homeland and talking about his culture and talking about his wife that you don't even know, that you ain't never seen. And integrity also keeps you from pushing this issue on further and further. Once you confront this man and he says, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke, man. See, integrity is a two-way street. See, if you ain't want no smoke, you shouldn't start no fire. But if by the time you get to the fire, I done put it out, and you don't even see the wood no more, ain't no fire. The smoke is gone. You ain't bring no wood with you because you thought I already had started a fire. So when you get here, if ain't no fire, there ain't no smoke. And if I don't want no fire, if I don't want no smoke, you ain't gonna get me to start that fire no more, no matter what you say. You can say anything. I am not gonna start that fire because when I started that fire, I didn't expect you to want to smoke. Integrity causes you to respond in the proper masculine way every time. And see, at 5:30 p.m., the right way to respond may be this. By 5:45 p.m., the right way to respond may have changed and gone over here. Integrity is what keeps you from responding that way because it what? Because it feels better. Because it makes you feel better. Because it feeds into your ego. Because it feeds into your need for emotional satisfaction for whatever state of emotionality you've been drawn into. Integrity makes you not go that emotional route. It makes you stay steady in your manhood and masculinity. Because there's only two ways a man can respond. You can respond in a masculine manner, or you can respond in a feminine manner. There's no in between. Every response that a man ever gives is either masculine or feminine. And if it's masculine, no one thinks it's feminine. If it seems like it might be feminine, then it is. Because there's nothing feminine about masculinity. And it's the same with femininity. There's nothing masculine about femininity. If you have a feminine woman around you, you know she's feminine. There's nothing masculine about her at all. You know it. And that's why us in the alpha sphere, that's why we're single. That's why we let these other men go out here and marry these half masculine, half feminine women. Because we know what we want. And we have to stand on that. We have to stand on the principles of what we want. We have to demand the things we want. Because that's what men do. These guys said something foul. Priest demanded his respect. He got it. Kill it, man. This is for Alba and Preach and Fresh and Fit. Man, y'all kill that shit. It's dead. There is no need to keep it going. It's dead. The man said what he said. You jumped to your defense. The man bowed down and said, I don't want no trouble with you. Let it go, man. You got your response. You got your response. It's time to be a man about this now. Little boys go ahead and keep picking and picking. Oh, you shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have said it in the first place. Okay, man, I acknowledge I shouldn't have said it, man. I was wrong. I did not mean it. I don't want no trouble with you. I'm afraid of you. I'm going to go buy a gun. I'm afraid of you. Any further move is just a bully move. And there's no integrity in being a bully. I don't care what the little small man said. There is no integrity in being a bully. You can't do it. There is no emotionality in what I'm telling you men right now. This is about manhood and masculinity and principles. You have to stand on them. Too many young men are watching you for you to keep this up. Let it go. Y'all guys don't know each other. Y'all ain't never got to do nothing. Both of y'all have great platforms, wonderful platforms, huge followings. Leave it alone, man. And I will say this, because I don't think Myron has anyone in his corner, man, who's going to keep it a buck with him like this. And I don't know how to get in touch with the guy. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep it in a respectful way, man. Bro, you have got to stop allowing this money to turn you into a monster. It is turning you into a monster. You have got to embrace this thing with a grain of salt. Because having the wrong attitude can end this thing for you quickly. You have got to stop allowing making money to control you, man. You have to. It's easier said than done, but it can be done. And that goes for all you other men, all you other content creators who have started to see some money or get to a level that you weren't at before. Man, don't let this money change you. Because the bottom line is, we don't make the rules on this platform. So all your future projections about where you're going to be and how big your channel going to be, it could all end tomorrow. It could all end tomorrow. All they have to do is have a rules change on this platform. It could all end tomorrow. If they say no relationship talk happens anymore on this platform, you'll be demonetized, what you going to do? Your whole platform dead. Appreciate the position you're in. And work your ass off like you've been doing. You guys work hard as hell. I will give you that. You guys work hard. There's only a few people on this platform that I think outwork me, man. I can count them on one hand. But I put those guys in there. Well, not necessarily outwork me, but work as hard as me, if not harder. And that group of guys is one of them. Fresh and Fit is one of those. Is they grind. So just focus on the work, dog. You are not even where you want to be at. Think about your aspirations and where you want to go. And think about how far you are from that. You ain't got time, man, to focus on no negativity, no foolishness, getting drawn into no bull. Man, you rolling fast. You are growing fast. Stay out of the foolishness, man. That shit gonna hold you back. That could be one person that's listening to you acting up like that could catapult you to the next level, homie. And you got to stay focused, man. You got to. You got a head of steam unlike anything I've ever seen over there, man. And you're doing something totally different from everyone else. Don't let your ego get in the way and break that down for you, man. Because I promise you, there's somebody waiting in the wings that's doing exactly what you're doing with a little small channel. And the only reason they ain't bubbling because you got that game on lock. Stay focused, man. Now, for anybody who feels some kind of way about what I'm saying, man, then get out your feelings. We've been talking about getting out your feelings the whole time, and you still in your feelings? Get out your feelings. Anybody that's listening, if you're in your feelings, don't be in your feelings. Because this ain't about feelings. Damn how you feel, we're going to keep it real. That's what this is about. You can't be a king and a peasant. If you're going to be a king, then you have to act like a king every day. You have to be a king every day. A king is a 24-hour job. King don't get off on weekends. You have to create a king culture within yourself. And I still say, man, listen, I listened to the original video where Alvin Priest did the response. I mean, I've heard him do the same thing a whole bunch of other times. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard him do the things to, there's this white guy. What's his name? Phil DeFranco. I think his name DeFranco. Man, they went in on him. You know, that's what they do with their channel. So, I mean, as far now, granted, I don't know this guy. Man, your ass ain't been listening, man. Kelly Moore, appreciate the 5 bone. I hear you, Doc, but I'm going to hold Alvin Priest responsible to this too. They at fault as well. I don't care what anyone said. Fool, I've been saying that the whole show. Where you came from, man? You must just popped up. I said time for them to let it go, man. You got to listen, bro. Tito Smiles, appreciate the 5 bone. I started watching them when I seen pics of Myron Gaines at a Pride Parade. I mean, you well within your rights, man. And that's the thing. That's the wonderful thing about this. All of us are well within our rights to support whoever we want to support and stop supporting them. If you want to stop supporting me right now, you can. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I just got to keep grinding and keep pulling in more supporters. That's the wonderful thing about this. None of us is required to support anyone. Amazed, appreciate the 5 bones. In spite of the obvious mistake, it's the fanboys fueling the flame, hopping from one channel to another, instigating beef and seeking entertainment. But you know what? It's up to us as content creators to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you like this. Those guys can make a whole lot more money together than they can attacking each other. However many views they getting right now, they can make a whole lot more money if they settle their differences and do a podcast. Really, really sit down and do a podcast, man. Like men. It'll blow up. Jacob, appreciate the super sticker, brother. Appreciate it. If they really sat down and did their thing, man, it'll blow up. But this whole thing about, the first video, the first response, the first video they did, man, that was just them doing what they do, man. Nobody should have had a problem with it. That's just them doing what they do. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. They had valid points. It's not like they didn't have valid points. See, I'm against you saying things, dissecting some content, saying things that weren't even in the content. They pretty much just spoke on some content. And my thing is, man, hey, if you make content, you open to that. I'm wide open. Every time I release some content, I'm open to whoever want to attack it. That's just life. I'm open to whoever want to attack it. If I say some flaw and my boy O'Shea want to make content about it, it's a YouTube creator, BOA, is found to have, he's the side dude of a man's wife. And if he finds that out and wants to say that, then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him up and say, "Hey, boy, that's some good content right there, man." You know what I'm saying? But I know Owen hit me up before he does that. You see what I'm saying? Because we talk like that. We hit each other up. We chop it up. These guys, from what Preach says or Apple says, they don't even talk like that. So, the thing is, man, it's just one of those things, man, where when you're a content creator, you open yourself up to criticism, and your ass just got to live with that. Ain't no need to cry about it. Ain't no need to have no hissy fit about it. You open up for your content to be dissected by whoever the hell want to dissect it, man. You just open yourself up to that. And then technically, how am I complain? I dissect content, not these guys' content on this platform, but I dissect content all the time. It's just part of the game, man. It's just part of what you got to deal with. And if you're going to deal with the good, you got to deal with the bad. You got to take the good and the bad and whatever you want to be in, man. You got to take the good and the bad. If you can't take the bad, don't take the good. Go on somewhere else and do something else. But even in that, you got to take the good with the bad. Everything ain't always going to be positive, man. Everything ain't going to always be positive. That's something we have to understand as men. Everything ain't going to always be positive. If you think everything will always be positive, man, you lost your mind. I promise you, everything will not always be positive. It just won't. And see, part of the problem is this, brothers. I'm going to tell you like this. A lot of times, men, and I'm not even talking about A&P and F&F. I'm talking about men in general that you see on this platform, especially in the comments. A lot of men, all they know is heartache and pain. They've been abused by women. They've been abused by men. They've been abused by family. They've been abused by their job. They've been abused all their life, and they're full of heartache and pain. And a man like that can't get out his feelings enough to try to intervene when he sees two of his favorite content creators going back and forth. He needs that. He needs to see somebody else going through something, somebody else dealing with some issues because his life is so full of them. And that's why I say become the most alpha version of yourself. Overcome the things that are holding you back from becoming the most alpha version of yourself. Because if not, you're going to be in that feminine energy where you need to see someone else's misery to make your misery more acceptable to yourself. You have to, man. I mean, but, hey, that's your opinion, Kelly Moore, man. Hey, all I can do is respect your opinion, bro. But, I mean, I did already cover that. Abundance America, health, wealth, and wisdom. Salute, bro. Appreciate the dying, the good doctors in the office. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you. Osvaldo Lopez, man. Salute, bro. Will never stop supporting any man, bringing positive and alpha energy in a world full of betas and negativity. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. Dominique Sethman, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the 5-bone. F&F should have approached it professional. A&P was just giving their viewpoint that they addressed on F&F when they were on set. Shout out to you, OG. Yeah, and that's another point. The man didn't just go through and pick out some content. He talked about when he was on there. You mean to tell me the man don't? Here's the thing. Y'all ain't never been. Why y'all think teams go back and watch game film? After we play a game and we whether we win or lose, what do? We go back and we watch game film. Because while you in the game, you can't watch the game. You have to go back and watch the film to know everything that was done in the game, all the mistakes you made in the game. You may remember the major ones, you remember your interception, but you don't remember the times where you misread, or the times where a wide receiver bailed you out on a play, or a time where a cornerback fell, and you don't remember those plays. You got to go back and watch game film. That's how you get better. So of course it makes sense for you to be on the show and then you go back and watch it and be like, oh, okay, well, let me point that out. And content ain't where you got to do it as soon as you see it. Piece of content I put up today about the bro talking about how your grandma was a chump and all that. Man, somebody sent me that 3 months ago. I've been sitting on that piece of content for 3 months. I just got around in the rotation to putting it up. When you're doing daily content, you have a load of content. So that was probably just down the pike somewhere. First of all, y'all got to understand the art of content creation. Y'all got to understand the way this is done. Let's see. King Vontae, appreciate the 5 bones. Stay positive, King. Keep grinding and growing. Salute to you, bro. Christopher, damn, what that thing jump. Maybe I'll start doing it like this. Alvin Preach, Fresh and Fit, should never had beef in the first place. If they had differences, they should call each other before going online. Yep, I agree with that. That's my point exactly. At some point, men have to be able to, contact one another. But Apple said they don't contact each other like that. But and here's the thing, man. I just feel like this. There was never a reason to beef. There's just never a reason to beef. Because if somebody create content, so what? They might create content about this. I don't know. They may. No, I think I got a big enough platform for them to create some content about it. They may. But what you gonna say about it? I'm just keeping it a buck, man. That's all. I'm just saying that we have a responsibility for the way that we present ourselves, the way we present our content, and we have to remember that there are young men who are following us. So we have to, in our deed and our words, we have to guide these young men properly and in the right direction. And what I'm saying is, if I see that not going on, then it's my job, it's my duty to speak on it, but not speak on it in a way where I'm attacking those guys, because I'm not attacking Alvin Preach or Fresh and Fit. I'm taking all the lessons from this situation and telling young men these are the things you should glean from this, instead of just looking at it as entertainment. Because technically speaking, this wasn't very entertaining. And I've seen a lot of men call this entertaining content. That shit ain't entertaining, man. It's too damaging to be entertaining. It's confusing too many young men to be entertaining. The confusion of young black men is entertaining to you? The confusion of young men overall is entertaining to you? Should the same man turn around and talk about, well, they got this homosexual agenda out here. Okay, what's the difference? It's all an agenda. And we have to make sure that we stay clear of that agenda. Notorious Rari, appreciate the 5 bones, man. Well, Dr. BOA, I think that all men should step up and help single mothers. I'm just playing. Salute, OG, unsubscribe. Man, you should have put unsubscribe under that. You had to throw unsubscribe on the end of that one, man. That was an opportunity right there, bro. So, man, we ain't gonna stay in here too much longer, man. I ain't want to come in here and flame on this thing too long, man. You just have to remember, man, that when you have something good, you got to cherish it, man. You have to value it so much that you don't do anything to tear it down. I've been getting a little flack from guys, man, because I've been not necessarily cleaning up my content, but just growing from a guy who just has to be rah-rah about everything. It's growth. And guys have been saying things, man, I remember, man, blah, blah, man, BOA, man, you don't even say it's the book of Alpha running me, nigga. I don't say that. Okay, guys been talking, but that was years ago, man. That's growth. That's growth, man. And many people are going to always have something to say about it, man. But I value the position I'm in. I value that I can say something, and at any given time, over 100,000 people worldwide want to hear what I have to say, bro. There are men who have more people than that, but I don't care about what they have. At any particular time, I can say something, and that's 50 to 100,000 people worldwide, mostly men, who want to hear the information that I'm sharing. That's too much of a blessing for me to destroy it over some foolishness, man. Too much of a blessing. E Major, appreciate the dime, man. Shalom, Dr. BOA. Heard Myron say the white man is the most oppressed. I'm going to speak on their behalf. I understand what you mean when you say us black men will disrespect each other before others. That's crazy, man. I ain't hear that one, man. I'm glad I didn't. I might have a different take. Van Diesel, appreciate the 5, man. In all retrospect, French Free are too young and too disconnected from reality to be speaking on topics that they do. That's an interesting perspective, bro. You know, here is the reality. The reality is this, man. As men, we have a requirement. We have a responsibility. And that first responsibility is to self. To make sure that you present yourself and carry yourself in a way that garners the respect and reverence that you yourself want. Because if you want it and you don't earn it, you don't deserve it. The way you carry yourself, the way you act, the way you react, the way you do a bunch of things will determine who you get respected by. And all respect is not equal. Trust me. All respect is not created equal. All reverence is not created equal. I've dealt with some guys on this platform, man, that are faker than $2, faker than $3 bill. I got a couple $2 bills. Faker than $3 bill, man. I'll never say anything about it. You understand? But if those guys call me, they'll never get a response. Period. It don't matter. They can call me with the greatest opportunity in the world. I don't want it if it has anything to do with them. You see what I'm saying? You have to detach yourself and disassociate yourself from negative people. You have to. You have to detach yourself from negative people. You absolutely have to. And that's a tough thing to do, man. That's the essence of becoming your most alpha version. You have to detach yourself from people who bring negative energy, from people who carry negative energy, for people who aren't real. Nothing worse than surrounding yourself with fake people and then wondering why your life is going up and down like a roller coaster all the time. Karma Kapufi, man, appreciate you. Appreciate the dime, man. So I say this, brothers, before we head out of here, man. We can say whatever we want to say, but there's one thing we know for sure. And that's the alphas up, betas down. It's the motto. My squad, appreciate y'all. We out.
Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up,
main thing that men let women slide with is shut uppiness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut uppiness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not